Hey everyone, SilverContrail here. I was going to make this next episode fairly long and have a lot of stuff in it, but my game continues to crash when I mess with Ars Magica. I don't know what it is about this mod, but it is very, very sensitive to very simple things that you can do, and that almost will immediately crash it. So unfortunately, you've got to be really careful about that. I actually recorded a bunch last time, kind of in between the episode. You saw that I got the new UI here. I've got the two bars on the left and the right, and then the number above my experience at 12. Those things I had at the very end of last episode because I kind of dabbled in, or I kind of touched upon Ars Magica just a little bit, just enough to kind of get my feet wet, see what it was all about. And I was going to talk about it the second half of last episode, but I decided not to because I kept getting crashes. So I did two things. First, I removed biomes of, or not biomes of plenty, but underground biomes. And the second is I changed all of underground biomes' previous items, all of its blocks, all the different cobblestone and stuff that was in the environment to regular default vanilla stone. So that's why my environment up here looks really full of stone. Basically, this was all various different types of brick in different ways from underground biomes. Underground biomes is no longer in the game, so I have replaced it all with stone, and that extends for the entirety of my world except for the Twilight Forest and the Deep Dark. I will probably delete those dimensions and then regen them again so that I can get a regular world gen. Unfortunately, with those worlds, what ended up happening is I basically deleted the stone, or basically all of the stuff that makes up the underground and the underground biomes, and I replaced it, or tried to replace it with stone, but the stone didn't get put in, so when I just took it out, it ended up leaving giant holes on the ground. So if you go underground, it's just endless amounts of ores and other miscellaneous blocks. So that needs to be fixed down the road. But otherwise, my game is running a little bit smoother now, and I like it, and we're going to get into Ars Magica, so that'll be pretty fun. Alright, so this is how to start Ars Magica. I've gotten a little bit into this already, just so I can get enough information that I can talk about it and not be a complete idiot. What you're going to want to do is fill up this pool here with liquid essence. And where do you find liquid essence? Well, it spawns out in the world, so if you have World Gen turned on for Ars Magica, which you should if you put it in, you're going to be able to find these pools of liquid essence. And you want to get 4 of them and place it in a 4x4 like this. And then you want to take a book and put it here. And hope your game doesn't crash. Okay, well that was interesting. I'm going to hope this doesn't crash my game again, because it crashed my game last time. Come on. Okay, good. Whew. Here we go. Alright, so if you put a book in an item frame above this pool, it will do this really, really cool thing where all the symbols pop out, and then it becomes the Arcane Compendium. And the Arcane Compendium is basically a guidebook to all of the things in Ars Magica. Lots of different information, a little getting started guide, how to get through that. Now, if you're really curious about getting into Ars Magica, I suggest you sort of, oh, it's turning night, you keep this handy, definitely, because there's a lot of good information in here. There is a guide right now on the subreddit for Feed the Beast, so that's reddit.com/r/feedthebeast, no spaces. And you will find a really good guide on Ars Magica, just a couple of links down. I will link that in the description because it's really helpful. And yeah, that is how you get the Arcane Compendium. So what is Ars Magica? It's a mod, magic mod. It lets you create spells and do really cool things. It's, from what I heard from Direwolf, it's supposed to be kind of geared towards a PvP mod, but for right now it's totally fine to just fight monsters with it, and it's pretty fun. Today we're going to work on making a spell. I'm going to talk a little bit about the different structures that I've made, some of the infrastructure you'll need if you want to do this stuff, and how I've set it up, and am learning it. So first of all, I am still working on the ceiling. It's all dirt still. I will get this replaced pretty soon, I hope. But this in here, these guys are applied energistics glass. It's actually called vibrant glass, and it gives off a glowstone level of light. So that's what I was using for lighting for a little bit. And what we have here is the crafting altar. So this is a, I guess you could say this is a, if we look under structures, this is a multi-block structure. It can be made out of many different types of materials. The materials that you use give it different effects, and you know, the higher the quality of the material, the better effects they're going to have. So that's pretty cool. And then you can see how it's built in here. Again, all this is in the Arcane Compendium, so if you want to make this, it's really easy to do it this way. I'm using witchwood and sunstone. The main blocks in this that you're going to want to find, witchwood trees are a little tough to find if you're not in certain biomes, but otherwise this chimerite, this stuff is so hard to pronounce, is pretty common. You'll find this quite a bit. The Vintium dust. This is, if I jump back over here, and we look at Vintium ore right here, and I'll show you what this looks like if you haven't seen it before. So this guy, and this guy you can just pick up with pretty much any pick, I think. Yeah. And if you put this into a smeltery, pop this guy in here, it's going to create some Vintium dust. So 1 Vintium dust per ore, and I'm pretty sure you can't macerate that, unfortunately. You can't macerate or pulverize it, so it's just 1 for every dust. And you're going to want some of those, and then that's pretty much it. Everything else you're going to craft. Oh, there's blue topaz in the environment, and then there's sunstone. Sunstone is pretty rare. I've quarried out a lot of my world, and I've only found basically enough to make these corner pieces. These are 9 each, and there's 4 of them. And then what's in here? So there's another 18 and then 17. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The first one you're going to want to make is the Oculus. The Oculus is your skill tree, basically. It lets you spend your skill points that you get by leveling up and beating bosses, that sort of thing. This lets you pick your different skills. It kind of reminds me of Skyrim's skill tree in the kind of cosmic background. There's different stuff. There's offense, there's defense, talents, or utility and talents. So there's a lot of different things in here that you can mess with. When you want to make a spell, you come over to the inscription table, you throw in a book, and you add some of these different components in there, different things that you want to add to that spell. You need a shape, which I think is one of these 2, and then I believe they're called components. I forget what they're called. Basically, you need at least 2 parts. You need a shape, and then like you need basically a square and then a hexagon. So I have one spell right now. Let me pop open my, oh, I don't want that. I have it stored in my spell book. So if I go to my spell book, you can see it in the upper right, but I will go ahead and pull it out just to have it. There we go. This is called Basic Projectile. I actually named it that. And it's just a spell that does basic level damage to mobs. So if I charge it up and fire, it gets hit. And you can see that bar pop up. That's my experience bar. Whenever you deal damage to mobs with this spell, you're going to get a little bit of experience. And this is a really easy spell to make. You can check it out. This is basically the projectile shape and then physical damage. And all it does is physical damage. This costs 2 points to get. You get 3 points when you start, and then you're just going to pick 1 shape and then 1 component, and you're good to go. And then you get like 1 extra point to spend on whatever you want. And then you go ahead and you make it. Over here, you add projectile and physical damage, and they'll go down here, and then you'll pull this guy out. You'll name it, do whatever you want. And then you got to use this guy. This is the crafting altar to actually make it. And what you do is you'll put your spell here, your spell book that you just made in the inscription table, and then you've got to go through this materials list, feed the crafting altar those materials, these guys right here, and then it will create that spell for you, and then you can use it. Before I created a really basic spell, and it required only a couple of things. This one I'm making now is a little bit more complex. It's a regeneration that heals. And if we look at the Oculus, we can see that this is under defense. So self, so it impacts self. It is regeneration, heal. So this is a little bit higher tier version of heal, I guess. I'm not entirely sure. what that means. But yeah, so with this in mind, I want to make this spell. All I should have to do, and this is a good question because it's a question of I don't know exactly how to do this one, because you need something else. These guys I can all make. I've got them all in my inventory down here. The blue rune, the aeum, I don't know how to pronounce that one either. the Ventium dust, the lesser focus. I've got all that stuff. It's all in here, in the golden apple. But it does require what's called essence. So essence is generated at it's generated at these guys. Let me not. Yeah, they're called nexuses. There's the light nexus and the dark nexus, and I guess there's also a regular essence nexus, but without the side effect. To create the middle rooms. Okay. Yeah. So this is the first one I made. This is the light nexus. And I built this little room for it because I thought it would look cool. And I really like this one. It's sort of earthy, kind of destroyed. There's a little skylight in the back, which I've got glass over right now. I might replace with some clear glass later. And this is the really cool circle here. And so what this is doing is it's generating very slowly essence. And then it's being ported into this mana battery. The mana battery has a certain charge level. Right now it's at 31.6%, and it will import, while I've got this lever on here flipped down, it's going to import some amount of essence from this thing every so often, whenever it can, probably. 31.6, and it's just being really slow right now. It's not really quick. It's very slow. Even though I think I've got this maxed out, these are blocks of quartz with diamond. I don't think you can do any more. It's still... Oh, there it goes. It went up a little bit. You can see it getting that connection there. So charging up that's how you get your essence. There's three different types of essence, excuse me, which I believe are light, dark, and then neutral. When it goes in the mana battery, it becomes neutral. This is generating light essence itself. Now if we go over here, this right here is the very dark and very terrifying, at least I tried to make it terrifying, the dark altar, the dark nexus, excuse me. These are chimerite blocks. This is those. I don't have any chimerite on me, so I can't show you. And yeah, this is a little bit cheaper to make. I wanted to put sunstone in here. Now, as I recall, this won't generate on its own. The other one will generate just from the sun. This will only generate if you basically give it animals or mobs, and I think it will consume them. So I have to automate this one. I'm going to probably set up MFR breeders to give it the animals that it needs, so I can slaughter them for my own needs. But yeah, I built those two rooms. I thought it would be cool. What I didn't realize is that you have to get that essence that they're making and then import it to this guy. So they're really far away, and you can't really do that from that distance. So what I instead have is a mana battery right here. So let me set up everything, because I think we're ready to go ahead and try this. Hopefully it works. Oh, that was weird. We want this guy and this guy. I think these are all the materials I need. And then we want this guy. Alright. So let's put this right here. And let me get a little bit of food before I do this. Okay, so to start off the recipe, we need to throw in a blank rune. So the first thing is a blank rune. And you can see it just gets eaten. Woo! Alright, we got one item in. Now it's going to tell us which one it wants next. It wants the aeum. And now it wants the Ventium dust. And now it wants the lesser focus. That's just a crafting item. And now, the heck is that? Does it want the essence now? Oh, there it goes. It's giving it the essence. Oh, that's it. That's all the essence it needed. Interesting. I don't think it like took any. Okay, now it wants a blue rune. And now it wants a golden apple. And now it wants a green rune. Another AM. And oh shoot, it needs scroll parchment. Oh, I always forget about this one. Every time. It's not too big of a deal. I can always back out here and hopefully get this before it decides to not let me do it anymore. Do I not have wood? Oh, yeah, it's right there. To make the scroll, it's pretty simple. Just 2 sticks and a piece of paper. Very easy. Throw this guy in. Get a little fanfare, and there we go. This is it. This is self-spell. Apparently it's called self-spell. Okay. That's not what I named it, but I'm fine. Fine with that. That's cool. Oh, there it goes. Heal Self 1. That's the name. So when you use it the first time, you right-click on it. It's going to give you some options. You can name it whatever you want. I'm going to use this icon for it because that's what it's going to be. It's Heal Self 1. So that's it for that. And go ahead and hit E, I think. There we go. Heal Self 1. Now supposedly this is going to let me heal myself. Do I not have enough mana for it? Oh, the mana cost is 540. Oh, I don't think I have that much mana. In fact, I'm pretty sure I don't. I guess that was too much to ask for making one. Oh, man, yeah, I don't even have enough. Maybe I can... Oh, that worked. Okay, so there's different casting modes you can go in. And you can see I've got... Oh, wow, I give myself regeneration. That's pretty cool. So if I hurt myself now, I probably won't. Whoa, that is good. That is amazing. I just healed like 3 hearts. And I get temporary regen. Yeah, that is pretty sick right there. Yeah, that is really cool. Oh, jeez. I'm really happy now. Let me go ahead and come up here. There's different casting modes, and they let you sort of determine how much power you want to give to your spells and how much energy you want to use up, and how much mana you want to use up when you cast a spell. And in this case, healing yourself. If I look at it now, it says it's 46. If I press C, it says a lot more, substantially more even. But as long as I keep that little half moon on the right there low, then it's going to be fine. That crescent. Because there's a crescent, there's a half, and there's a full. I can't even use the full, so I must not have enough mana for it. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm still not sure exactly how much... Like, I'm out right now. Like, I just ran out of that blue mana side. And then the red side really charges really quickly, and then it goes down. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, I really don't actually know. Okay, so that one ran out. It's hard to... It is actually kind of sort of difficult to see the right side bar, how much is there. It's really just not the right color. I'm trying to get a look at it, and it's just not. Oh, that kind of helps. Putting it up against the white is a little bit helpful, I think. But yeah, you can see I'm leveling up a little bit, so as I go along here, I can do that. There's a spell book which lets you hold the spells a little bit easier. I haven't figured out how to switch between them easily. Doesn't seem to be really an option to do that. I'm sure there is, but I just don't know what it is. In fact, it might be in the controls. I'm gonna look for Ars Magica. I wonder if it's the Z button. Yeah, it is the Z button. Okay. I was wondering if that was the case. Heal self, basic projectile, heal self. Yeah, this is really handy. The only thing I just don't want to do is accidentally like be sneaking and then hit it and then be like, oh hey, there's a book in my face. That wouldn't be good. Because I do hold shift a lot, especially if I'm not sure if I'm gonna walk off something. I'll hold shift just so I don't accidentally walk off things. That's a habit I picked up by being a Race for Wool player. Like I almost always will shift now. Like if I'm on the edge of something, I'll probably just shift. I feel kind of like I'm crouching, looking over the edge. But yeah, that's a basic spell, and we got it, and that's pretty cool, in my opinion. Yeah, and everything's set up pretty nicely. I do really enjoy the setup that I have here. The only problem is I don't have a way to charge this, but I don't know what I need Dark Essence for. There's a lot of different... Yeah, let me get over here. There's a lot of different spells in here. Again, we've got projectiles. We've got all these offensive spells. Some of these look really dangerous. There's like an arrow here. But I'm not sure if I want to do, too much offensive stuff because I've got a lot of offensive options already within other mods that I have access to. Like with modular power suits, you can have some really crazy stuff. So I don't know if you really want to do that. But there's some cool stuff. Being able to heal is just really cool. But I don't have access to these guys, and I don't know what they take. These ones are green. This one's red. This one's green. This one's blue. This one's green. This one's red. This one's green. I wonder if I can't get to them because... It's probably because I don't have the points. And so you have to get those points a different way, I think, than just leveling up. Like, I leveled up again, and I'm at 4 now, so I can do those sorts of things, but pretty sure I need the other levels to get to stuff. There's touch. This is in utility. Not sure what this is. Disabled via config. Oh, okay. I don't know what that does, but it must mess up things. There's some crazy stuff in here. It looks like there's crazy stuff anyways. Oh, I didn't mean to buy that. Oh, well, I got it anyways. There's color, not yet learned. I don't know what they do. Can you look up spells in here? Let's look through the compendium. Let's take a little look through here. Guides. Your first spell. Gaining magic levels. You gain magic levels by casting spells. You don't gain them if the casting isn't successful. And there is a diminishing return on a cooldown, so spamming spells to grind will get you anywhere. Casting spells also modifies your affinity. See Mechanics Affinity for more information. Well, we should probably look at affinity at some point. An affinity is a bond to certain areas of magic. You start with no affinity. Your affinity is represented by a small chart on the HUD and can be viewed in more detail in an oculus. Your affinity will change based on what types of spells you cast, meaning that you cast certain types of spells more often, you will get better at them. Casting spells of a different affinity will shift you towards that affinity. Once you reach 100%, you become locked to that, and you will need to read an opposing affinity tome to unlock your affinity, at which point normal progression will resume. So that's kind of silly. Life affinity. Very slowly regenerate additional life. Ender affinity. Poison resistance 50%, 75% depth. You gain night vision automatically in dark areas. Endermen will not attack you unless you attack them first. Maximum health is reduced in the light. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff in here. Back to the guides though. Obtaining skill points. At each level you will gain 1 skill point. Levels 2 through 20 award blue, 22 through 40 award green, and 42 through 50 award red. Additional points can be gained by fighting bosses, trading with villagers, and exploring. You choose how you want to go about it. Dungeons and exploring. This seems interesting. Structures from ancient mages are rumored to exist around the world, dangerous to all. However, they are far less common in the past due to the ravages of times. AM2 also has specific integration with better dungeons, so if you install that mod, there will be AM dungeons to explore as well. I think I've seen some stuff that might be for that. Bosses. Can I fight a boss? I want to fight a boss. The air guard. Weird. is a being of wind. I brought up the health for him, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna die, aren't I? The Arcane Guardian. So there's different ways. Throw an arcane essence directly into the middle of the circle to begin there. Yeah, so there's different ways to summon bosses in here. That's pretty cool, though. And then we've got some different mobs. Like, I've got a lot of these guys roaming around outside. I'm sure I've fought them on camera before. Oh, you can move them around. This is a really cool guidebook, although it keeps crashing on me. Unfortunately, as cool as this is, there is a lot of stuff in here. Components. Oh, here we go. The shapes, and then we've got the components, and then we've got the modifiers. So the components being regeneration. I wrap my arm in healing light. Blue room, golden apple. And yeah, these are things we used in that last recipe. So we could see that we had to use those in order to make the regen. But we also had the modifier. Yeesh. Components. Instant heal. This required these two, which we actually did use. By greatly increasing the amount of power put into regeneration effects, you can knit almost anything back together. It's taxing, however. Yeah, it is definitely taxing. So this must show at least some of what we have access to. Components. We've got modifiers like bounce, and then gravity. And those change how the spell behaves. Interesting. Very interesting. Talents, affinity gains, argument color. Color allows you to change the color of the particles of your spell. Hey, that's kind of cool. Spell movement, mana regen boost. You are more attuned with the energy flowing through you. Your magic regenerates slightly faster than normal. Interesting. Yeah. As far as talents go, I don't think you actually craft these, or you do, the normal process to get these. I think you just do these a different way. I think you just get these. So that lets you change the color. The one I just got, what was the one I just got? Mana regen 1. So now that I know mana regen, like I can, yeah, you can't use it as a spell, so I just have mana regen 1 at this point. So I get a little bit faster regen on my mana. That's good. I mean, that's a nice thing to have, certainly. Yeah, that's interesting. I have no idea what I want to do for the remainder of this episode. I kind of thought about maybe going to talk about... I really need to clean this place up. Let me put some thought into it, and I'll come back and see what we can do. Okay, once again, I've completely lost track of time, and it looks like we're about that time to wrap up the episode. So, we made a spell. We talked about a little bit about Ars Magica, or actually, I guess we talked a lot about it. Look through the Arcane Compendium. Again, I'll have a link in the description that has more information and such, so you can look at that. Otherwise, I am waiting patiently for my mass fab here to get done. I've made some iridium, but definitely could make more. This is not going anywhere. Do I not have any? It's just pulling up cobblestone for eternity. Wait, that doesn't make sense. You're set on quarry 1. You're not set on quarry 1. I don't know where this cobblestone is coming from. I think both my quarries are done at this point. We can go check them out. They are in the deep dark. I almost died here last time, actually. So I gotta be careful. But I can heal myself now, so that's kind of cool. Well, this one's done. Okay. So this guy's just doing its thing. I will probably move these guys here pretty soon. I do want to regen this world, so I'll probably go in and delete the file for this place. And then actually I want to start exploring the Twilight Forest a little bit. I've been kind of waiting until I got some decent armor and some good spells even. Now that I have some, might be time to go explore the Twilight Forest. Maybe we'll do that next episode. Oh boy, don't want to go down there. Do not want to go down there. It's not only is it really dark, but you'll start to take damage as soon as you get down below a certain level. Maybe we can go down here, maybe. Yeah, you might be able to see where, like, it's all ores down there. Like, there's no stone. And that's because of how it generated incorrectly. So, fortunately, it does need a regen. So, I'll probably do that just because. But it shouldn't be a big deal. Anyways, thank you for watching. We'll do some more exploration stuff next time. We'll leave the base. We don't want to be holed up here all the time. And maybe I'll clean this up the episode after. But yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time then.